This is a prelude to the little combination of mini movies that I've put together for the purpose of one, bringing a motorcycle back that I bought in San Diego, and two, trying to do 1,500 miles in 24 hours or less in early April from San Diego through to Vancouver. A couple of things to note that I didn't take pictures of right to begin with. The bike had 12,999 miles even on it. When I left my buddy's place in San Diego with his assistance, and I'm not going to tell you his story because he's rolling on the floor laughing, but we drove from his place and he took me down to the nearest gas station in the morning, so that was the start. We left his place at about 25 after 4 in the morning, although it's logged at 4:20 in the morning. Got to the gas station. Of course, the attendant didn't know Dick. Wouldn't do a second witness on the iron butt ride paperwork. Wouldn't stick his hand out the window or anything. And then the first pump wouldn't work, so here we are in a gas station that should have taken 2 minutes, and it took at least 10 minutes to get tanked up and get out of there. So, although I left Rockies and went to a gas station that was less than 2 miles away, officially the ride kicked off at 4:20 in the morning, but in reality, I didn't hit the road until 4:42 when I hit the freeway. And then, of course, California being very creative in terms of how they put their freeways together, which are sort of a mishmash of wagon roads that are 400 years old and freeways that try to meet the wagon roads. These guys put the south entrance, so here I am starting off. I'm headed to Mexico. Rocky comes bombing up behind me, waving frantically at the same time as I'm looking up, saying to myself, uh-oh, I'm going south. And what I really should have done was continue the other 15 miles or so, go to the Mexican border, and then it would have been a complete border-to-border day. So, this gives you the prelude to the trip. That prelude is one heck of a great day. California is a beautiful place to be. And my buddy Rocky down there, he is a real prince. Without him, it would have been difficult to get this going, and certainly I wouldn't have pushed the bike through without a oil change, which he assisted me on fairly late in the evening at his place, and it was great. So, my thanks to my buddy Rocky, and have fun watching these little flicks. Oh yeah, one other thing, I forgot to do the trip until I was about 230 miles out, so ignore the Trip A button, that doesn't count for anything. The mileage is on the Speedo. Well, here we are. Less than 7 hours since I left the gas station 3 miles from Rockies, and we're up 557 miles since Rockies. That's 554 miles in 6 minutes shy of 7 hours. And it's a nice day in California. Actually, it's quite a sweet day.
Just coming into the junction that turns off to Weaverville in Redding. That is, well, let me see here. That's 9 hours. 692 miles.
Well, here we are, Oregon. And it's, let me see, 2:59. Jeez, that's an hour sooner than I thought. And 815 miles from Rockies, 816 miles from Rocky's place. So, looks like fun. And away we go again. Hey, bud. Well, that is half an hour short of 12 hours when I left, and 901 miles right on the button. I don't know if this thing can see that or not. Anyway, I'm someplace called Douglas, Oregon. Wee, nice face. Smile.
That is exactly 1,000 miles in exactly 13 hours. Looks like rain coming. Seen a little bit of mist back on the road, but not very much. That doesn't look too bad ahead now. That's great. It is now 5:38. That is 12 hours, 40 minutes since departure. It's now 50 degrees and dropping with the sun. Wanna get chilly.
Well, just drove into Washington and drove into rain. So, time to haul off and put on the rain gear. It has stopped, but it's kind of unreliable around here, so I think I'm just going to gear up. That's another few miles on. It's 7:47 p.m. on March the 8th, 2008. Let's see how good this camera is. Looks like it's taking a decent picture. In any event, time to gear up.
No, not April the 8th, April the 9th at Camas, Washington. This is living proof that you can get burnt out after 1,200 miles on the road.
Yep, looks like I spoke too soon, all right. 4 minutes after the last little flick, it is just pouring in Camas, Washington. So yeah, I have my cigarette. I'm going to gear up, get my rain gear on. It looks like it's going to be about 300 and a bit less. 274, 75 miles to the border. And I hope it don't rain all the way.
Well, let's just see how good this little movie taker is, because that's 1,403 miles, and I'm headed back to Marysville, because I realize that by the time I get home, I'm still going to be 45 or 50 miles shy. So I doubled back to Marysville, pick up another 60 miles, and head her home. But I'm doing it this way because apparently it is raining very hard at home, whereas here the road is dry. So I have no idea whether this is taking pictures or not, but it's a good recorder anyway, I guess. 1,404 miles for the day, and it is 11:56 p.m.
Well, here we go, one of life's little coincidences. Speedometer reads 14,505 miles, which means that since the inception of this little ride, I have put on 1,506 miles. And since 5:42 this morning, and it is now 1:42 the next morning, I have put that 1,500 and change miles on. So now I've just got to go find a witness to conclude this little maneuver, which is going to take me another probably 7 or 8 miles. Still don't know whether this damn camera is taking pictures or not, but maybe it'll record. Small amendment to that aspect that you just watched with me sitting there on the side of the road after 21 hours and 1,500 and very small change miles. It was 4:42 when I left, not 5:42. Hence, it was exactly 21 hours when I pulled off to the side of the road to make that little flick and not quite end the trip. The little codicil to the whole thing, when I finally found a gas station that was open in Langley, BC, that's a difficult task. All of a sudden I find out, after I've tanked up, the attendant wouldn't come out and witness the mileage. I could not find a policeman. You can't find a cop when you need one. So I'm standing there scratching my head, and then here comes this red pickup into the gas station. An old fella gets out. He's 58 years old. He's a past trucker. I explained the situation. So he sort of grins and says, I used to be a trucker, and I used to do San Diego, and it took us 3 days to get here from there because of the fact that they just can't log too many hours in a day. So being a Harley rider who didn't have a Harley anymore, and admitting quite frankly that if he was on one, he'd have shivered and shook his butt right off the road, he was glad to sign the paperwork for me, and I thank Brian for that as well. Apparently in BC now, because somebody got caught up underneath a vehicle and drugged for a few hundred feet while they were trying to stop a non-payer, they changed the law. Everything's shut down really tight now. I don't think there's anything else to say. Oh, this is what you wear after you've just done 1,500 miles through the mountains in April. And try to get out of it. Raincoat. Heavy leather coat. Dakota vest. Ski suit. Electric vest. Still tied down on my head. Sweater. T-shirt. Hairy belly. It's been a long day. Shut her down. Press the button. Well, here we are, the day after riding 1,513 miles. Tanked up at the end of the trip. Yeah, she's a sweet bike.